Ladies and gentlemen, the boy, the man himself, the man of the hour, Darthly is back out of nowhere, out of the grave. The Shadow Priest, a literal god, the only Shadow Priest. I think this duel has been here like a gladiator like multiple times over and obliterates people with a very unconventional playstyle. Last I remember, we got also La on that team. We got Prox as a Feral. Pricey coming back. Oh, I love his playstyles of a proc based just a warlock, dude. It's so fun to watch just how much damage you got in Pelter versus Team Red. And they got some boys in here. We got Kenny as Arcane. We got Flaffadak as a Survival. Fortune as a Windwalker. FaZe as Unholy Death Knight. And Vert EXE as a Feral. Good luck and have fun, everybody. Ferals be out of form. Stealthies be out of stealth unless you're dueling. You can share a Mage buff. You can share the Priest buff. You can share Warlock Hellstones. Every other buff, keep them to yourselves. And it looks like it's going to be Darthly up first versus Flaffaduck. Shadow Priest versus Survival Hunter. That's going to be a very interesting one. This is Darthly, dude, versus Flaffaduck, who's apparently a gladiator survival hunter. Darthly already got some cooldowns rolling. He's actually already in void form, just I guess building up the void form damage from the pet. Going to be able to get a VT onto Flaffaduck and is going to be able to get some damage rolling. Actually, just trying to kill the pet. He actually did kill the pet for the survival hunter. Going to be Harpoon, maybe hoping to go for a maybe we'll hope he would be able to go for a little bit of a freezing trap onto Darthly. He did great and faded as soon as our Harpoon came out. And Flaffaduck taking quite a bit of damage though. Does dispel his own dots, but it's going to put him in a little bit of CC. Darthly does have the pet that he could get dots off of. And Flaffaduck going for Manning Bandage right now. Darthly with that offensive heal the pet play style. I like it. Is going to be able to get on top of Flaffaduck for a second. Is going to, I think, be able to... Maybe, I think he tried to juke out his own cast on the Flaffaduck, but he got the dots rolling on both the pet and the hunter, so that's going to be quite a bit of single target damage he can go for. Could turn the damage onto the pet. I don't know where Flaffaduck is going to go for a little bit of a feign death in order to take the dots off, but Darthly is going to be able to land a stun on him, is going to get a VT, does get interrupted with a muzzle though, so Shadow locked out for a second. Flaffaduck still cannot heal himself right now. Going to be a greater fade for Darthly. No interrupt available. Is going to be able to get hit with a stun by Flaffaduck into a disperse immediately, trying to get him as much healing as possible. Flap, does he have himself feign death right now? Darthly not letting him get a clean feign death. He's trying to go for a little bit of heal. Feign death right now maybe is going to get himself CC'd. Whoa, bathing right in front of Darthly. Not going to be able to get any heals. I think Flaffaduck might just have to go for a Turtle Shell. Turtle Shell with a feign death. That's the only way I think he could deal with this. Turtle Shell and feign death, but the dots are going to tick down on him. Darthly got some damage rolling too. He's got himself some void eruptions onto Darthly right now. He's going to get a VT. Mindbender up and running. There's going to be some traps. Flaffaduck actually going to have the Mindbender walk into the freezing trap. So now Darthly's actually free, but he's going to get hit with a knockback trap back to back. Flaffaduck pathing right at Darthly. Start to follow. Does he have him right here? It's going to be huge damage. Flaffaduck might have to go for a Turtle Shell right now. Immediately silence to follow before Flaffaduck can get himself any more healing. I guess Safety Chicken does come out. Darthly does not get to dispel it fast enough. Flaffaduck tried to get himself a heal. Not looking like it's going to be happening. Revive pet coming out for Flaffaduck. Darthly does go for a heal. I don't know if Flaffaduck has anything. Take down the shell in order to be able to get some damage on Darthly. This is going to go for a little bit of a self-heal stun onto Darthly. He still has dots rolling on him though. Flaffaduck still has dots rolling on him. Gonna call his pet back for a second. Might be able to get himself a camo somehow. Gonna be some more dots by Darthly as he gets hit with a freezing trap. Flaffaduck needs to get into line of sight. Needs to go for feign death. Let the dots and let the CC kind of waddle him out in the open. And then he needs to go for a full camo. Darthly mounted up though. He's up on a pale horse, trying to see if he can stop the reset by the hunter. Does go for a camo, hits him with a stun. More VTs up and running. Does he have the damage? Fear onto Flaffy. The pet cannot help him out. Few shadowments coming up for Darthly. He's preparing for the next duel. Void eruption coming out. Flaff does go for a little bit of a feign death to follow. Try to take those dots off. Darthly does punish him with more dots, getting hit with this steel trap. Could go maybe for a shadowman or two. The pet is over there. Could be turning around for Flaffy right here. Could go for a stun into Darthly. He does go for a greater fate for just a second. Still trying to run away from the Shadow Priest Crucible to follow. Does get him in a Harpoon. Executes are coming out for Darthly. Could be the answer. Flaffy does go down. Darthly taking him out. Vert, you better give him the honor duel here. You better give him the honor duel. You're a feral dude. You better give him the honor duel. I swear to God. I swear to God. I swear to God. Looks like he's in stealth, but he's kind of letting him. He's trying to find a better position. Darthly, you can use health swap, by the way, with your allies if you have that as a talent, by the way. You are allowed to do that. Stun onto Vert. He does trick it out immediately. And that's going to be a bit of a heal for Darthly with Disperse. Needs to find a way to deal with Vert right now. Does have himself a little bit extra healing. Fear onto Vert. He doesn't have any more trinket. But for Doth, this could be good. Does get the dots into Vert EXE. If Doth can someone just find a way to kite Vert EXE around, that could be good. Got himself a little bit of damage. Going to be a wall for Vert EXE. As Darthley does have himself a little bit of that Vampiric Embrace. Trinkets out of that stun from Vert EXE. Darthley, if you do have Health Swap, you are allowed to use it. Trying to keep the Feral from coming out, from re-stealth and trying to keep him out there. But Mind Control trying to come out, bash into Darthley. He doesn't really have a lot to work with here. Could be a Skull Bash out of Vertex. He tried to see if he could juke it out. Does get hit with a Skull Bash. Brandon with a donation. Toss a coin to his streamer. Brandon, can we get a hashtag Brandon Shannon? True appreciation for the wonderful donations. Darthley trying to see if he can Mind Control Vertex out of there. VTs are trying to reset up. Does get a stun onto Vertex with a Vampiric Embrace to fall. Void Eruption to follow. Silence of the Vert, not to give him any kind of self-healing. And Darthley is going to get smacked by a Crucible right after. Mindbender is on Vert. He's going to get hit with a Maledict right here, actually. Still hit with a Maledict. Darthley tried to cut him as much as possible. Vertex is about half a health. Actually getting quite low. Does pre-wall this. VT is getting reset up for Darthley. Vertex is super low. It's going to be greater fate for Darthley right now. Vert trying to go for a little bit of regrowth right here. Darthley might be able to get himself a little bit of recovery as well. Vert not going to be able to be caught in stealth. As long as he can get Vert low enough. The executes could be huge. Maybe a stun right after. Vert doesn't have any more defense. So trying to set up a big stun into Darthley. Does hit him with a bash. It's going to be Disperse available for Darthley. Does go for Disperse. Save the shit, saving him by a hair. Vert does not have any more defense. So going for a Swiftman right now. And if Darthley can just land a full stun on the guy, get enough damage, get him low enough executes, that could be it. Darthley has full health right now. Greater Fate coming out very, very soon. Vert has wall coming up in 23 seconds. Trinket available in 13 seconds. Regrowth trying to get some regrowth up and running. Darthley just cannot catch up to the guy whatsoever. Does get at least a pain on the guy. Stun to follow. VT is going to be applied. Does he have enough damage right here? Darthley doesn't actually have a lot of defenses left. Does get a silence onto Vertex here, not giving him a lot of opportunity to heal for a moment. Then goes for a Void Eruption right after. Wall coming out for Vertex in about 2 seconds. Darthley get himself some defenses available very, very soon. Is going to get himself Void Eruption yet again. The dots should be quite good. That's going to be a Mindbender hitting him. Vertex is actually super low in health. Does trick it out of the fear. Executes could be good. Does go for Crucibles. That's going to be Darthley just trying to see if he can survive it. Vertex has only a few more executes available on him. Does have a wall. Big bottom Darthley trying to turn this around. The executes could be huge right now. One execute, maybe a second one right now. Darthley gets actually the execute off of the Feral and does go for Shadow Mance immediately. That's going to be phased up next as a DK. Does Darthley have a way out of it? Not a single one of these guys gives this man an honor duel. Maybe that's why. Maybe because this man is fucking insane, dude. Darthley doesn't have any healing whatsoever. Does get a silence on the phased. And all he can really do right now, he does have the pest so he can attack and get some dots off of, but no Disperse available for a while. He needs to wait out until Disperse available. It's going to be Zombos running at Darthley. Does go for a bit of a Void Eruption right now. Zombies is still attacking Darthley. Could go for a Disperse right here. He's actually keep killing those zombies as best as possible. Shackle and Dead onto Abomination. And FaZe took quite a bit of damage from a distance with Darthley barely doing anything to the guy. He's still just trying to surround him with zombies. Darthley trying to be aware of it. Could go for Disperse right here as he gets with a stun. FaZe does go for an AMS. And dampening rolling at about 13%. FaZe could really pressure Darthley right now with Necrotics. Darthley making sure to keep all the dots rolling on to FaZe as best as possible. There's going to be a full army of undead surrounding him. The Abomination does disappear. More zombies are coming out for Darthley. Having to use Globus to kill the zombies. They actually go for a stun on him. They're going to get a bit of a stun lock. Darthley doesn't really have a lot left here. IBF coming out for FaZe. Finally going to be Darthley able to get all his dots up and running. Silence onto FaZe. Zombies are still walking at Darthley. Greater Fate does come out for Darthley for a second. Using Crucible defensively. More zombies coming up for FaZe as Necrotics are lowering up as he got a Maledict rolling. Actually super low in health. FaZe, is he just going to go for more speds? He's going to resummon his sped, beefing it up immediately. Darthley's still min-maxing the range here. FaZe trying to get the zombies in. Grip onto Darthley for a second. He doesn't have any defenses for quite a bit of time. Does have a trick if things go bad. Mind Control trying to come out. FaZe does get juked on the cast though. That's going to be a zombie, probably going to interrupt. Darthley, actually he's making him run into the zombos. He's making him kill his own zombies with auto attacks. Tricky coming out for Darthley off of that Strangulate. FaZe gets any kind of dots rolling on himself. Maybe stunned by Darthley. Might be enough right here. AMS coming out. Darthley doesn't have a defensive for a little bit. Greater Fate coming out very, very soon. Just need to survive it just a little bit longer. Crucible is still available for self-heal. Trying to get himself a Shadow Man. Greater Fate is available right now if he wants to use the silence onto FaZe. Shadow Man's coming out with the Greater Fate. Able to get himself fully heals. Abomination's rolling up. Does he have any damage to follow? FaZe is low on health. Executes are almost ready. That's going to be Fear onto FaZe. Disperse available for for Darthley very, very soon. Might be able to live long enough until Disperse is up. Does go for Disperse. Necrotics need to come out for FaZe immediately. Trying to go for the army right now. Darthley is going to get himself a little bit extra healing. FaZe has enough health. Darthley has himself in Vampiric Embrace right now in case he needs it. Needs to get FaZe low enough right now. Trying to burst him as best as possible. Stun onto Darthley. Doesn't really have a lot to work with. FaZe is super low. Trying to stay offensive here. MS coming out for him very, very soon. Execute FaZe available. Actually could be huge. Dots are up for Darthley while stun is up for FaZe. Is using Crucible. The executes right now. Actually lands another kill on yet another guy in Fortune. Is he going to give him the honor duel? Darthley's already going in for damage. Fortune not going to give Darthley an opportunity here. That is going to be Great of Fate trying to boop him out of there. Out of the Great of Fate. Stun into Darthley. I think that might be the end to the champion. Shadow Priest. And oh my god. It went 3 for 3, dude. Shadow Priest versus Survival Hunters. Feral Druids. Unholy Death Knights. Not a single one of them gave him an honor duel, dude. I can't believe it. And Pricey playing out Demonology instead of Destruction this time. Very interesting. Very interesting. Gonna be a big fell lord stunning Fortune. Is gonna be a karma right now for Fortune right now. Trying to do AoE damage to everybody, man. Darthley came in. He saw, he conquered, he did what he could. Nobody gave him a single honor duel. If only he had a life swap, which is allowed, by the way, if you want to use it. You can use life swap in these duels. Darthley, I think that would have given him at least a bit extra tankiness. Actually, maybe for Darthley that would have been cheating, because Darthley is Darthley. This is why this man is literally the god of Shadow Priest to this day. To this day. Fear on to Fortune. Pricey just trying to get himself the army of pets coming out. Gonna be a Tyrant right now. Does he get a stun to Fortune? Needs to get a stun on him. Finally, the Tyrant is going to be up and running. One stun to Fortune. He does get himself a defensive. Second stun maybe to follow before he gets any kind of defenses. Does he have a second stun? Second stun right now on Fortune. The Tyrant is still slamming around. It's going to be Lexio, but Fortune. Fist of Fury, but the Tyrant is still doing damage. Fortune still might go down. Does get a kill on to Pricey at the very last second. 4v5 to try to come out, and that's going to be Pelcher. Not letting Fortune have more than one duel. Pricey got him super low, and Pelcher was like, bap, gonna snipe you out, like Kenny play. Pelcher getting quite a bit of damage from Kenny, though. Was that some Arcade Missiles action? Kenny getting hit with an interrupt, landing a Maledict onto Pelcher, blinking around, and Pelcher's actually under a lot of pressure right here. Wants to go for a heal. Using the heal while Mally is running on him. Could have went for a Barkskin instead. Is going to go for Incarnation. Locking out Kenny on Arcane. Perfect opportunity for Pelcher to get some massive damage. Trying to min-max the Incarnation setup. Doesn't have a stun for Kenny or anything at all. Doesn't have... Oh, no, he does have a stun on him. Does not have enough Star Surges available. Needs to power shift just to get out of those roots and slows. Yeah, Arcane Missiles coming out for Kenny. He's trying to see if he can blink around Pelcher. He does go for a Barkskin. Disarm onto Kenny. Disarm the Mage. Is not going to do anything for him. Arcane Missiles onto Pelcher right now as Kenny trying to get around the arena, interrupting Pelcher on nature. Pelcher doesn't really have a lot of health left. It's going to be maybe any damage available. Arcane Explosion taking them out. Next up, I think it's going to be Lala. Does Lala go for an honor duel with him? Oh, honor duel. Letting Kenny play it out to the end. Kenny does have to go through a Shadow Priest and a Feral Druid. Going to be instant interrupt onto La, onto Shadow damage. And some Arcane Missiles falling up for Kenny. Knock up onto La. Has him locked out for quite a bit. Doesn't want to get interrupted on. He's going to be stunned by La. Perfect opportunity for him to get some big damage in. Got himself even a little bit of that Vampiric Embrace rolling. Keeping his health up as best as possible at 50% dampening. Kenny so far has been pretty good. There's going to be Fear by La. He's sitting at less than half health, trying to get a couple Shadow Mins. Arcane Missiles coming out for Kenny. Silence finally coming out by La. Landing a Maledict onto Kenny. This way he got his own burst rolling. Got himself a Shadow Fiend and everything. Shadow Fiend should do the most amount of damage here. But it looks like Shadow Fiend is kind of getting CC'd. It's going to be a bit of an invis for Kenny just to get away from Shadow Fiend for a second. That's about all he's got. Trying to go for a bit of a War Stomp for La to land a stun to Kenny. Did not get it. Kenny is still getting those Arcane Missiles. Has maybe an interrupt onto La. Doesn't even let him get any dots on the guy. La going for that Disperse, but I don't think he's really has a chance anymore. I think Kenny really did outplay the guy. Stun into Kenny. He does have the Siphon to deal with any kind of temporal. That's going to be La actually going for Greater Fate so you can get a couple casts off or two. Siphon's still going to try to reverse damage back into Kenny. He's going to eliminate it immediately. Silence onto Kenny, but he has the mobility already. He's just going to hide while the silence is there. Knock up onto La while he's trying to go for a little bit of those Arcane Missiles. Double Crucible coming out for La by the looks of it to get himself as much healing as possible. Silence onto La as Kenny bails out of it for a second. Try to get as much damage onto La as possible. And I think La actually is out of options. Does have himself one last Void Eruption, but those Arcane Missiles are huge. Kenny, is he going to be allowed the honor duel with procs? Where's Proxy? Oh, Proxy's already on hunt, dude. He's like, I am out of here, dude. I'm not even giving him a chance. Icebuck for Kenny immediately. He's still gonna try to see if he can stick around with it, man. Gonna get a dot rolling into Prox. Crucible to follow for Prox. Not a lot of health left available for Kenny. Does have a temporal, but this high dampening, not a lot you can really do. Darthy came in. We actually didn't even see how much damage or healing this man did, because he bailed. But it's okay. He's a busy man. Darth is on a different level, dude. He is. That's such a joy to watch a priest of that caliber play, man. Vital, I got you. I can't get invited, man, but I appreciate it. We'll get you in next, yeah.